I owed the state over $5,000. I owed my tax attorney over $5,000. All of that money that was phantom money that I didn't have got charged to my credit cards, and completely and utterly maxed out. Any remaining credit that I had was maxed. So basically, I talked about this in a video, and I explained that I was very upset about this because it just makes it that fighting games aren't that fun anymore. And I was worried that if I played with my Shiranui again in a week or 2 weeks, the fun would be gone because everyone would know how to beat her easily. Well, my trolls picked up on this. They made highlights of me talking about this and shared it all over the internet. It made its rounds into the actual FGC. And this guy, Button Check, made a whole video. Well, not a whole video. It was half of his daily video about it to get some conversation going. What I like to do is watch this video, directly respond and react to it, and then give you my thoughts. FGC responds to DSP, content creators are ruining the enjoyment.
Is ruining the mystery behind fighting games in the meta. Buttons that need to be checked. That was a weird ass title, but it's gonna make sense, kinda. It might not, because it involves DSP. That's right. I want to thank Jersey or Joe Oaks 90 for tagging me in this story. Says, don't want to give DSP too much spotlight, but wanted to get your input on this.
Hold on, because my stupid thing is, don't want to give DSP too much of a spotlight, but wanted to get your input on this. I'm sure Dirty Low does. I don't know who Dirty Low is.
I'm sure Dirty Low, I wish I could include him in this one right now, but he is, I don't think he's here by the time I'm recording this, but we have a video. It's a small clip. He might make an interesting point. I haven't seen the whole thing. I haven't, all right? So we're going to watch it. We're going to get some opinions. Let's see.
Now, on day freaking 1 of anything new being in a fighting game, you've got hundreds of fucking try-hard creators who are running the gauntlet of testing, who are sitting there in the lab, who are recording and uploading and montaging. And here's how you beat... By the way, you can tell that he's watching a detractor because you see how terrible the quality is. You notice that my voice sounds terrible. You notice that the visuals are terrible. It's because he's watching a detractor reclip instead of the actual content. Just so you know, Button Check, if you actually watch the real content, it's much better quality. These idiots clip and try to upload and it sounds and looks like shit. You know, that's why it looks so bad. Original source, the King of Crybabies HD. No, the original source is DSP Gaming. Look, it even fucking says it. In the bottom left-hand corner of the screen is my fucking watermark. It's from me. It's not from the King of Crybabies HD. They stole my content, and this idiot is crediting people who stole it from my channel because they're a moron. If you made this video, you're a fucking moron. Congratulations. You just proven you're a fucking idiot. This, here's how you stop that. Here's how you do this. Here's how you beat that. And explain in heavy detail, here's how I analyzed it all, and here's exposing everything to the world. But again, because there's no actual execution required to play these games anymore, you're making it so any fucking mouth-drooling idiot can now play the game at a meta level because you're exposing the meta for profits.
So there we go. There we go.
So I will say this, before we even start, he listened to almost the entire argument I had, even though it was out of context from a detractor. Huh? He actually listened to the whole thing. He didn't just listen to one little out-of-context part that, of course, makes me look bad. He actually listened to the whole thing. He gets massive credit for that because most people don't bother to do that. Most people will just listen to the 1 10-second highlight from a detractor and be like, well, that's what Phil said and he's a moron, right? Instead of, wait, he actually listened to the whole clip and it actually made sense because he listened to it. So already I give this guy points for actually being patient and doing the right thing because he wanted to make a good video. That's what you do when you're a good creator. Okay, now let's see what he actually has to say in response, okay? Here we go.
Because you're exposing the meta for profits. How y'all feeling about that? For one, let me say, as a content creator going on 8 years, there's no profits. There is no fucking profits. Trust me, there is no profits. You can make, let's say you make a game for Meta, somebody that's well known, I don't know, let's say a Brian F or something like that. If just that one video, because they're not gonna make a whole series. Rooflemonger's good at doing that, right? He'll like do a breakdown and whatnot. Who else? I'm sorry, there's a whole bunch. They don't really come to mind, but the chances of you like really, oh, this is gonna pay my rent this month on this one series, not so much. That's not how that shit works. YouTube is a fucking beast, right? And the FGC is very small in the scheme of things. These fucking profits people talk about every now and then, they're imaginary. No, I'm not saying you can't make some, because definitely there's big names in the community overall. Overall, with the years they put into it, their Twitch, if I could talk, their Twitch streams, their contracts, if they're signed, they're sponsored, numerous sponsors, then okay, they're pulling in something, right? But not just off this one concept that I'm making a combo video. But I will.
So I'm just going to say this very simply, very matter-of-factly. I'm not saying this to insult this man. I'm not saying this to insult any particular creator. If you are exposing the meta of a competitive thing, whether it's a sport, whether it's a game, whatever it is, if it's something competitive and you're exposing the meta of that to the world, you should do it for a reason. And the reason should obviously be a good one. And if you're telling me that it's not for profit, then what the fuck are you doing it for?
I just care about money. That I just can't help it. I'm so just enveloped in greed and money. I need money. I need money.
Because you understand that when you expose the meta of something competitive to the world, you have actually destroyed the competitive nature of what it is. For example, I want you to just think about this for a second. Michael Jordan, when he was at the height of his game playing pro basketball, did Michael Jordan go on TV and be like, oh, by the way, here's all the tips and tricks that I use to play my game at top level right now and win the NBA championship? I'm just going to lay them all out for you right now. Here they are.
Today's just a bad day. Kobe Bryant passes away in a tragic helicopter crash. My slaves get corrupted and deleted from friggin' Knights. What else could happen? I hope nothing else. I hope that's it. Seriously. That's gotta be it, man. We gotta cheer up. We gotta have a good day. This is not good. We gotta have better than this, dude.
No, he did not do that. He also didn't go to all of his fellow players and people say, oh, here's how you play basketball. No, he kept it to himself so he could be a good athlete. And then years later, all right, down the road, when he's washed up and his time has passed, then he becomes a mentor. He becomes a coach. He passes on that knowledge to the next generation. He doesn't just give it to everyone right now when he's at the height of his prime game and something competitive is going on. All right. Again, back in the day in the FGC, yeah, there's got to be a level of logic here somewhere, and I'm looking for it, and I'm not seeing it. All I'm seeing is everyone wants to be hype on the internet and meme about these characters and shit. Big deal. But then when you go to play the game's ruined within a week. It's so boring. Why did you ruin the game in a week? All right, let's continue because I'm sure he has a lot more to say.
Once again, I know it's DSP. I already know how a lot of people are going to react. Hell, look at these comments right here. People are like,
so he's going to read comments off of the detractor video, which is sad because that's not the audience that cares or is going to say anything intelligent. We're going to look at the comments on his video, and you're going to see there's actually some pretty intelligent ones.
Like, the problem with modern games is that people are learning the game.
The problem is that people are learning the game at too accelerated of a rate that they didn't earn, and it ruins the game too quickly and makes it boring way too fast. The problem is that people are learning the game at too accelerated of a rate that they didn't earn, and it ruins the game too quickly and makes it boring way too fast. That's what I said, not that abbreviated version.
And then, wasn't he watching tech videos to beat other players?
No, I was watching matchup videos as if I were attending a tournament in person, which is what I used to do back in the day. I was watching matchup videos to learn how to use strategies and stuff. That's very different than studying the top tier meta tech video.
Hypocrite. He wants to gatekeep new people from improving so he can forever feed his ego.
I don't have an ego. I'm never going to go to a tournament and try to win. I'm never going to say, oh, I'm the best at a modern fighting game. I'm not a moron, okay? I don't invest the amount of time and effort to ever be good at a modern fighting game. There's no ego here. It's a fact that modern fighting games are being ruined far too quickly, and people don't want to listen to me just because I'm a meme on the internet that everyone loves to hate. You're a moron if you believe that. It's your own fault if you want to live in ignorance. Don't listen to people who know better than you just because people like to make fun of them. Sounds like you're the moron here, not me. I know what I'm talking about.
Really shows the type of person he was back in the day. Can only win when people don't know better. Can't hold his own against people in the same knowledge.
Except that I'd regularly beat top players who had way more experience and knowledge than me back in the day. Nice try. I was known as the upstart up-and-comer. Who basically was the runt who was beating the top tier players, and that's why a lot of people didn't like me.
But it's saying that, like
Also because I had a really fucking big mouth and I talked a lot of shit, and I regret that now.
I said, let me know. And deputies, ladies and gents,
All right, and the one other thing I'm going to say, because we're going to look at the comments of the video now, because he actually has some an incredible amount of idiots, of course, because all my haters rush to his video when it says DSP. He just said incredible amount of morons. But I actually highlighted a few interesting comments here that I felt, there. I was going to say, did it delete them? No, there they are. I actually highlighted a few interesting comments here that I feel actually are very intelligent and we should talk about, okay?
Slurp it up like fucking noodles, like, hype. Oh, ooh, I gotta eat it. Eat the hype. Oh,
well, I can't wait to hear how tomorrow the entire FGC will be up in arms against DSP, and we're going to have every top player on the planet making videos about me and crapping on me. It'll be hilarious. Really, it will. In fact, I hope you do that. I really hope you do. I hope all you come out of the woodwork to crap on DSP once again, just so in 5 years' time you can all come out and agree with me, just like you always do.